And the story today, many of you might be familiar with, but it's a good reminder. So, long time ago, there was a very wealthy man, and he spent a lot of time building a great ship. And his dream was that he wanted to build this great ship so that all of the wealthy people can get onto this ship and travel on this ship. And his main aim was to make a lot of money and become famous from promoting his ship. So he built this really big ship and he spent a lot of years on building it. And then once it was built, a lot of people came to him and they were saying to him, "Wow, this ship looks amazing. It's so big. It must have cost a lot of money to make. It looks really strong." And then he became really proud and he said, "Yes," he said, "I've spent so much time building this ship and nothing will ever destroy this ship." And then people were smiling, and then he said, "Not even God himself can take down this ship." So then a few weeks later, his new ship that he had built went on a journey, on its first journey in the ocean. And a lot of wealthy people boarded this ship because it was the first time this ship was traveling from I think England to America, and it had never been done on a ship or on a boat this size before. And it was a very luxury experience, so people could buy really expensive tickets, and within the ship, they had nice furniture. It looked really appealing. They had places for people to relax, so it was a very well-designed modern ship for the time period. So as the ship was sailing on one of the days, a problem happened, and as the ship was sailing, the weather became really, really cold, and the captain directed the ship, and by accident he went and he hit an iceberg. So an iceberg is a massive piece of like a rock but made out of ice in the ocean, and its size is huge. And the ship went over this. And what happened was, as the ship went over the iceberg, it damaged the ship and it created a massive hole in the ship. And all this time, the man was boasting, the owner of the ship was saying how this ship was strong, it can't be destroyed. But then the ship started to fall away, and this small bit of damage that had occurred on the ship, this small hole, became a massive problem, and water started leaking into the ship. And then within a few hours, the ship started to start sinking, and people on the ship started to panic. All of the people, most of the people were very wealthy. They were shocked and they were saying, "How can this happen? This is a very expensive ship. I paid so much money." And then they realized that it doesn't matter how much money they paid, their survival was not guaranteed, even though they had so much money. And then in the next few hours, everyone was shocked. They were looking for ways to escape. Can you stop? They were looking for ways to escape the ship and to find a way to get off the ship, but they couldn't because the the ocean was really cold, and they had a few lifeboats, a few spare boats on the ship. So people got onto this, and some of them managed to escape. But within a few hours, the whole ship sunk, and it sunk all the way into the ocean. And what the ship was once known as being a massively famous, expensive, glamorous, strong ship had lost that reputation in the matter of a few moments. And what this story teaches us is that it doesn't matter how powerful or what human beings create. Ultimately, humans are just a creation, and whatever they create is just a creation, and anything can be destroyed instantly. And the owner or the maker of the ship, he himself said that not even God can destroy the ship, which showed his arrogance and his lack of belief. And he was taught a massive lesson that he shouldn't say these types of things and that there is no power except the power of Allah. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this story, and it is based on the story of the Titanic, which I'm sure you're familiar with.
MashaAllah, it was a nice one. And you should take lesson from that. That was a real one that happened. Thank you. Jazakumullah khairan for your story, Mashoor.
Barakallahu feekum.